Hi everyone, happy Wednesday, I guess it is. I'm really mixed up in my days. Just wanted to pop on. This morning I made some Dutch oven bread. It's a Pampered Chef recipe, so I can post the recipe link in the comments below, but I'll also be posting some pictures in a little bit here of the bread that I just made. So it's so good. I'm making it in our 6-quart enameled cast iron, and to get a rustic style bake of any type of bread is definitely to cook it in a Dutch oven, and the key is to preheat your cast iron Dutch oven before you put the bread in. So I'll show you it finished. So it comes with this lovely little lid, and the lid, kind of going off topic, is really great if you're braising any type of meats. These little divots in here, whenever the condensation builds of the water or the liquid, whatever you're cooking it in, it's gonna come on here and it's gonna naturally baste your food so that you're not always having to use a baster, which is still a great tool, but it kind of naturally does it for you. So that's a little added tool, which is so great. So for the rustic bread, you want to make sure that you are baking it with some parchment paper. And you have to, because you're using yeast, you have to let it rise for a couple hours. So the process of this bread can take between 2.5 hours to 3 hours. I like cutting down the time because I proof my bread in my quick cooker pressure cooker. So instead of having it sit on the counter, which is totally fine, I proof my bread in the pressure cooker. So this is the bread. I'll show you. I'll take it out in a quick second. So it turns out so good. I scored the top into like an X. I like adding fresh garlic to my homemade bread. I add a little bit of our Italian seasonings and our rosemary and herb, which we carry in our pantry line. So I add it to the dough, and then I also add a little bit on top with some Parmesan cheese. So you can add whatever you like. You can add fresh things to your bread like jalapenos or cheese or Parmesan cheese. There's so many options for you. Roasted red peppers are really good in there as well. So I'm gonna take it out here. Hopefully you guys can see. So basically, here is our bread. So it turns out so nice. I don't really need it, to be quite honest with you. You know, the recipe, you don't have to use a stand or a hand mixer. You can just use a bowl, and I recommend wooden spoons. Mix all the ingredients together. It forms a dough. You're going to use quite a bit of olive oil. That's going to help you from the sticking, and then also adding the ingredients on top. So the recipe, again, is a Pampered Chef recipe. I've made this bread several times. It's so good. I'll make sure to post the recipe link in the comments, and as I said, I'll post pictures of this later with the recipe attached. But the key to the rustic bread, as I mentioned, is using a Dutch oven of any kind. We carry 2. This is the enamel cast iron, which is my favorite one, and we also carry the Rock Dutch oven as well, which is barbecue safe. It's more versatile, but they're both great. They wash up super easy. You preheat the stone before the bread's even in there for 30 minutes at 450 degrees, and then you bake your bread with the lid on for 30 minutes. You take the lid off and let it cook for another 8 to 10 minutes, and then your bread is ready to go. So it just came out of the oven about a half an hour ago, and then I'm making beef Wellington for dinner, and then we'll serve it with sides of mashed potatoes and veggies. So this will be really, really great. As I said, be creative if you're a bread maker or new to making bread. You know, you add your favorite ingredients into your bread. And if you're interested, I can do a bread little class. I like doing beer bread because beer bread also is so easy. You don't need yeast for beer bread because there's already that in the beer. So I like that, and I like demoing it because you don't have to wait that process of having to proof your bread and letting it rise for a couple hours. But like I said, I proof all my bread in my pressure cooker, and that saves me tons of time instead of it sitting on the counter for hours. So I'll be enjoying this tonight. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys all night.